So you're thinking about making the jump. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Mike, and I live and travel from this beautiful self-converted camper van. And I've been on the road now for over about a year and a half. And doing van life, making the jump, which you have clicked this video for, making the decision is one of probably the best decisions I ever made in my life. And so you might be asking, Mike, where are you? What's around? What beach are you at? And to that I say, mind your business, because I'm gatekeeping. I'm not telling you. All jokes aside, I'm in Corpus Christi. And so with being here at this state park and being here on the beach, it's been extremely, sorry if you can't hear me, there's waves in the background. It's been extremely nice. Hold on, gotta dip the foot, you know what I mean? Before you, that sand at the bottom, my feet are not that dirty. Some people might frown on that. I personally won't, because I'm not tracking sand in here and sweeping sand up 10 times a day, because why would I do that to myself? So yeah, I'm here at Mustang Island State Park, and I've been here at this beach in different locations for about 4 days, and it's been a blessing to be able to wake up and I have the beach as my view. I go to sleep to the sound of the waves, I wake up to the sound of the waves, and all around it's been very relaxing. So you're here for a reason. Let's get to the point. So to start van life, it is extremely simple. A lot of people might overcomplicate the process because for them, their process might have been difficult, and so that's what they're speaking from. For myself, it may sound difficult, but in reality, the process for me was pretty simple. There's a few things that you're essentially going to need and just about need to be sure about. There's not a lot that you need to be sure about when it comes down to doing van life, because in reality, not too many people have a plan of where they want to be, have a plan of where they want to go, have a plan of what they want to see. You know, you kind of just roll with the punches. Some people do, some people don't. I personally do not, and I've been enjoying that. And so, one of the few things that I would say that you would just about need to be sure about is, are you ready to go on an adventure? Because really with doing van life, and especially with how I have been doing it, and I'm again speaking from my personal experience, it's been an adventure, and an adventure that has been awesome. Like, I've met so many great people, I've seen so many beautiful places, and I've been so many beautiful places, all from the comforts of essentially my home. And so, yeah, one of the things that I would definitely say you need to make sure that you have locked in and understand is that it's an adventure, it's a journey. It looks different for each and every person. You can follow someone's story and then try and do exactly what they do and not see any of the same results, or see different results, or see better results. It really comes down to who you are, what you're bringing to the table, and that's what the earth doesn't have, is more views. So each and every one of us is different. Each and every one of us brings a different thing to the table. Each and every one of us has our own redeeming qualities. Some people damning qualities, but your own redeeming qualities. And again, there is thousands, millions, billions of people, but there's still only one you. So when it comes down to it, when you start taking the journey for yourself, it is going to look like a different journey than someone else's. So yada, motivation aside, what am I going to need, Mike? What am I going to need to do? What am I going to need to prepare? What all am I going to need to do this? A good spirit, buddy. That's what you're going to need. Because when I tell you, my first couple months of doing van life were some of the hardest months of my life. They were. Partially just because things happened, things broke, life happened. And that's another thing that you have to remember, is that the grass is not always greener. It's green where you water it, and life is going to life no matter where you're at. It's just, I'd rather just be waking up, if I'm having a bad day, to something like this than to 4 concrete walls. Let me step back inside real quick. It's a little warm out here. Or I was gonna step inside, but I forgot I'm at the beach and I want to cool down, so I can just go dip my toes. No hate or anything, no shade, but yeah, I mean, overall, when it comes down to van life, your experience, your journey, your take on it, all of it's gonna be your experience, your journey, your take. So it's gonna look different for you. Ooh, that is cold. That is cold. That is cold, but refreshing. That is cold. Oh, look, a shell. Does it have something under it? What's going on, little thug? Yeah, I got me a shell. Oh, and it has a hole through it already, so I can make a little necklace out of it. Say no more. Check out my shell. Check out my shell. Ain't it nice? When it comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, what do you need to start van life? Again, you need to have a sure, like, I want to do this, I want to embark on this adventure, because more often than not, a lot of people aren't financially ready to just go buy a fully built out, fully converted camper van. And so some people are just starting with their cars. Some people are starting with the bed of their truck. All of these things, they're true to you. And so that's what makes it your journey. And it does not make your journey any less powerful, any more powerful. It just makes it your journey. Yeah, no, it's still hot. It's still hot outside. And I got a little bit of beef with this water that's right here in front of me, for reasons that I will explain, or if the video has came out before this video, you know why. As a little hint, one of these fellas. But that's besides the point. I keep it simple. I keep it very, very simple. When it came down to starting van life, I knew myself going into it, right? And so that's another big thing that you're going to need to know is yourself. And of course, if you don't completely want to commit to buying a van, converting it, doing it all that way, and you have a car now, or you're working to save up to get a car, or even you just want to give something a shot, you can rent a car, you can rent an RV, you can take a camping trip. There are so many ways that you can introduce yourself and slowly break into the space. You don't have to full send it. Go buy a complete van, do the conversion yourself, overwhelm yourself. If you know yourself and know that there are certain things that you just are not willing to challenge yourself to do, that is completely fine. No one's going to judge you, and that's one of the big things that I've noticed with being in this space is that people literally come from all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, all forms, and everyone's journey is unique. For me, myself, I knew that I would be capable of building out a van. Now, had I done any of this stuff before? No. Was that a deterrent to me? At points, but I was like, let's see this as a challenge, and this is just another puzzle that I have to solve, because I love puzzles. So I was like, damn, Facebook Marketplace. I'm on Facebook Marketplace a lot. I know some of you have the same issue with Facebook Marketplace. You're always on there scrolling. And so I was on Facebook Marketplace and I was just looking, and I spent days, weeks almost, just looking at vans. So I looked into the high roof because I'm tall, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to fit into a medium roof because with no insulation, you're gonna have, you know, the base cargo interior height. But add insulation, you're gonna lose about 4 inches. Side note, just a quick brief introduction. I wanna say hi to my little man over here. I call him little baby Boosie because it looks like they have little fades. Like their neck is white. Hold on, let me see. Is he gonna run if I walk up? I want you guys to meet my little friend. I call him little Boosie because he has like a little fade. His neck is white, but the top of his head is black. So his boy left, but you see he's standing here. This is my dog. See? That's my guy. He's getting a little spooked right now because I stopped walking. But yeah, that's my guy right there. That's little Boosie. I'm not disturbing the wildlife. He didn't go anywhere. He's right in front of me. But yes, knowing yourself is massive when it comes down to choosing the right vehicle, choosing the way that you're going to travel, choosing the way that you're going to be out and about. Because if you don't necessarily know all of those things, again, it's not really a problem. You're going to figure it out as you go. But it'll just set you up for success down the line. Now, when it comes down to picking the right vehicle, picking the right any of those things, there's multiple ways of going about it. So for me, myself, like I mentioned, I went on Facebook Marketplace because I was pretty comfortable with Facebook Marketplace. I'm mechanically savvy, and so I was like, yeah, if I have to do an oil change or change a small part, if it's not anything major, I can do it myself. And yes, if you've seen as I was walking, this beach space here is actually a little bit dirty. Say thank you to humans for that one. There's a few spots where there's cleanup areas, but I'm like, this is kind of egregious. Like, I don't understand that pull up to a beach, throw your trash on the beach, and then leave. But I guess to each their own. But yeah, so I was in the middle of a decision. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I was checking out vans. I basically was spending day after day looking at them. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to need a Transit because it's tall. I know I don't really care too much about the mileage because these things run forever. And then also, I'm like, color, I would like a cool color, but at the end of the day, I could change that. I could paint it. So let's not worry about these small things and these small features. Oh, look at these birds flying by. Hold on. Now, wasn't that just the darndest thing? If you're new to the channel, my apologies, but I'm here at the beach and I have been trying for the longest to get a handstand down. And so I'm gonna try again. See if I can get a solid handstand down in the wind. I wanna get at least a 3-second handstand. And make sure you can see me. So I want at least a 3-second handstand in this general vicinity here. There's people all around, but I don't care. All right, I wanna face the water so I can see my boy behind me. Oh. No! Come on, Mike, come on. No! Come on, they're right there. No. My wrists are starting to hurt. I'm sitting back down. I'm gonna lock in so I can tell you guys more so of how do you get into van life. So as simple as put, you can start joining Facebook groups so that you basically have connections. It's a lot easier to get into doing something if you already know someone doing something, especially if you need that extra bit of motivation. So there's Facebook groups that you can join. If you already have done a lot of travel and you're pretty comfortable with being outside of your immediate city or state, then some of these things are redundant, but for other people, it's not so apparent. So yeah, Facebook groups, you can reach out to, if you have any family in different areas, that's where you can do like, say you want to go see your grandma and you live in Florida, your grandma lives in New York. Hey grandma, I want to come up and see you, and along the way, say you just take a weekend, that's a bit of a drive. Let me do something more realistic. Say your grandma lives in South Carolina, you live in Florida, and you want to take the weekend to do the drive and you camp along the way at different spots. You can definitely do that. Now in terms of parking, a lot of people are really worried about where am I going to park, where am I going to shower, where am I going to basically find all of the things and all of these amenities that I have in my house. So in terms of parking, there is an app called iOverlander. Now they have iOverlander 2. It's a little bit different than iOverlander 1 was, but it's basically the same thing at the end of the day. You can have, say you're going to a specific state, you can download the map for that state and you can designate what features you want. So say you want to only see say you only want to see campgrounds, or say you only want to see a place to fill up water where you can park in the middle of nowhere, things like that. You can choose all of those different filters, because van life, van exploration, all of these things, it's been around for a good minute, at least 5 decades. And so there's plenty of people who have been doing all types of trips, and so there's a lot of that information stored. And so that's one of the apps that I myself personally use to find campsites, is iOverlander. And then other than that, if you start to do it a little bit more, you start to become a lot more comfortable, and every now and then you don't even need a site to find somewhere to park. Also, with the connections and with knowing people, they might just let you park in their driveway. They might just let you park in their neighborhood. So I remember when I was just getting started, my first trip was from California to Arizona to see my sister. So I went and parked at her house, I filled up water at her house, and that was my introduction. So although I jumped headfirst into doing van life, I didn't just fully send myself into it without knowing where am I gonna go, how am I gonna get there, who am I gonna be around. I still was a little bit patient with myself because it's a pretty big thing. Keep it simple, stick to yourself, stick to what you know about yourself, and that's really an easy way to walk into things. And so now, where you're gonna shower. So a lot of van lifers talk about it, a lot of nomads talk about it. There is Planet Fitness. So if you're really trying to jump into it and you're really ready to go, Planet Fitness does a membership. I believe it's about $25 a month, and you have access nationwide to Planet Fitnesses. So as long as there's a Planet Fitness gym, which there is in overwhelmingly damn near every city, you can have access to a gym, a shower, and a hot shower. And then they have like other amenities like a spa and different things like that. So You're not just gonna be walking around filthy all the days. And everyone does it differently. Some people are like, I'm only gonna wanna shower out of my vehicle for the privacy. Some people, they're fine with showering at a gym. I myself used to hate showering at public places, but now it's just as comfortable as showering at my own apartment, if I had my own apartment, or showering at my family's place. Because at the end of the day, it's a shower. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a shower. I'm going to take a shower. There might be someone in the shower next to me singing. There might be no one near me singing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a shower, and I need to get clean. So now with planning trips and basically finding where you're going to be, where you're going to be going, like I mentioned, take it easy with that, especially if you're just beginning and you're ready to get on the road. You can easily burn yourself out with doing all of the details of planning. Planning a trip should be fun. It should be light. It should be airy. You should not try and cram as much as you possibly can. I'm speaking from experience. Say you're going for 3 days. Do not expect yourself to do something every single one of those days and a large something every single one of those days, because more often than not, we get tired, especially if you're driving. When you're driving, there's a fatigue that isn't considered. So, for instance, like I mentioned, say you're visiting your grandma, you're in Florida, South Carolina. I don't know, what's that, like a 6-hour drive, depending on where you're at in Florida. You can easily be fatigued by the time you get to South Carolina, and so now you don't want to do anything for the day. That's completely fine. Be patient with yourself, because it's, you know, one of your first big trips, if it's your first big trip, driving and camping along the way. Now also, when it comes down to just overall exploration, one thing that I love about doing van life is it's allowed me to reconnect with my inner child. Buddy never left, never went anywhere, but now I'm much more so like younger Mike was. Not necessarily carefree, I'm still very responsible. Side note, I'm still very responsible. You bring your children around me, they'll be safe. Just, I can't guarantee we won't box, because I fight kids. And your kids will know if they come around me, I fight good. One of the major points that I really want to emphasize, and if there's going to be anything you take away from this video, is that with van life and doing van life, I understand there's hundreds of videos out there, thousands of videos out there, a bunch of people telling you how their experiences were, what they should do differently, what you should do differently, how it should all look differently. I really just emphasize, and my biggest point is just take everything with a grain of salt. Like, even this video that I'm making for you guys, like, I'm a big black guy traveling the country, traveling the world. You know, most people, they're gonna look at me and not receive me the same way that they might receive you. So everything with a grain of salt. And again, especially to my women out there, the world is a wild place. It can be a lot safer, definitely, but everything with a grain of salt. That's one of my biggest points, because I don't want anyone to be discouraged based off of any review that they've seen from somebody or a video that they watched. Oh, this is dangerous. Everything is dangerous. This is life. Yes, there are certain risks that are heightened, but people have gone from just walking down the street and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So take a chance on yourself. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. This is living. Ooh, what kind of rock is this? Oh, that's not a rock. What the hell? Never mind. I got so excited. I don't know what that was, and it was squishy. How y'all doing? How's your day been going so far? Mine hasn't been too bad, you know? I'm here talking to you guys. I got some water in front of me. The sun is out. I've been catching all my vitamin D. I'm no longer deficient, I don't think. And kids playing in the water. They probably can't fight, but that's okay. How are you doing? Your mental health good? You eating good? I hope so. So all in all said and done, my experience has been my experience, and I'll speak to that. It has been great. I've been able to see so many different sites, meet so many different people, and I did not expect that at all. I came into doing van life very unexpectedly. At the time, I was living with some people who I would say I considered as my friends, and that was at the time, and when I was building my van at least. And
they were just about taking bets on how long I would last, 6 months, 3 months. And I don't know, for me, that kind of was like an extra piece of motivation to really give this a shot. Now, I understand not everybody's circumstances are the same, but for me, that was my reason to really get out there and really push it to the limit. And I'm very, very proud of myself for doing that, because every step along the way, there were challenges, yes. There were difficulties, yes. Things broke, things froze, all types of things. But I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very, very glad I took that step and I took that chance on myself, because who would have thought this would be my weekday? My beach office, my front yard is the beach. I'm able to work from here. I'm able to make my dinner. I'm able to shower. I'm able to do everything I need to do, and I didn't have to leave the beach. It's definitely a blessing, and I'm very, very thankful to be where I'm at. And so for that, I'm sharing as much as I possibly can with you all to show you that you don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know where you're going. You don't even need to know what you're doing. It's not that difficult. As a new friend of mine, Julian, one of his slogans is nothing to it but to do it. That's the truth. Like, in terms of the financial aspects of things, I understand everyone's finances look different. For me, myself, I leveraged my credit, so I took out a loan to buy my van. And if you are financing it, you're basically doing the same thing as I'm doing. If you went to a dealership and financed it, you're doing the same thing that I was doing. Or if you already have a vehicle and it's financed, you're not paid off yet, it's to say a sedan or an SUV, or if you have a truck, anything. Your imagination will go as far as you let it. So I challenge you, after watching this video today, if you yourself are actually interested in just taking a trip, not even just full-time van life, just taking a trip, I challenge you to betting on yourself, to believing in yourself and trying to do it. Like, even if it's solo. That's one of the best ways that I've traveled, is solo. You go so much further, so much faster, yes. And with meeting people, you can stay there longer. So you never know who you're going to meet. I myself, shocker, am a natural introvert. I got sand in my eye. How the hell did I just get sand in my eye? I don't necessarily walk up to people and strike a conversation. It's very easy for me to talk to a camera because there's no one here. But if you meet me in person, I will talk to you. But that is because I've spent time breaking myself out of that shell, because I felt like I was punishing myself to see people being able to talk to folks, and I couldn't do it. And so I challenged myself to communicate and learn how to try and communicate with different people. So I challenge you, if you are an introvert like myself, to get out and try and at least have a conversation with one person. And I guarantee you, I can't guarantee you that, it depends on who you are, but at least you tried. If it doesn't go well, you freeze up, at least you tried. And that's at least one step further than where you were beforehand. So again, if you take anything from this video, not everyone's experience is going to be your experience. Take your time. This is a learning process. We're all learning. No one stops learning. Life is full of learning curves. And take it from the dude chilling at the beach. I want you to at least feel like it's doable, it's possible. And I'll see you on the other side. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You can reach out to me directly if you need my email. You can find it on my YouTube page. Or if you just want to like, comment, and subscribe, you can definitely do that. I do actually have some work to do. It's not all fun and roses, so that's another thing. If you don't have the finances to just pick up and go and leave, if you're a 3 days in office person, if you're fully remote, if you're 5 days in office, there's still ways to make certain things happen. You could travel weekends, you could take holidays, you could take time off. So I'm still, as you've seen in one of my previous videos, a regular person. It's just my regular looks a little bit different now. So I'm gonna head out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay good, stay faithful, stay blessed. I hope you take care of yourself. And drink some water, because it's warm out. It's summer. I'll see you.